Changi Airport Terminal 4 is set to reopen after 2 years to help cope with the pent-up demand for air travel. Bargain shoppers are out in force after OG announces its Orchard Point outlet is closing. The woman involved in a luxury goods scam was investigated by Thai police for a similar ruse. Hello, you are watching The Big Story with me, Chao Su Ann. Subscribe to the Straits Times channel to stay up to date with our live news updates. And the date is set. Changi Airport's Terminal 4 will reopen on September 13th, this after being closed for more than 2 years due to the pandemic. This comes as more people are flying again. Concurrently, only T1 and T3 are fully operational, while T2's arrival hall in the southern wing was opened in late May. And so, T4's reopening will add to the airport's capacity, with the terminal able to serve about 16 million passengers a year. And to get it ready for planes and passengers again, Changi will spend the next 2 months conducting operational readiness trials with airlines and airport partners. 16 airlines, including Cathay Pacific and Korean Air, will relocate to T4 progressively. Now, after 18 years on Singapore's main shopping street, homegrown department store OG is shutting its doors at Orchard Point. It hasn't been revealed who will be taking over the space just yet, but until then, OG is having a big moving out sale. As Kimberly Zhao reports, Singaporeans all like a bargain, don't we? Well, I know I do.
Banners, sales tags, social media posts, all to let their customers know OG at Orchard Point is closing down and moving out.
Today is the second day of the big OG closing down sale, and as you can see behind me, the place is buzzing with excitement.
At about 10:45 a.m. this morning, 15 minutes before the store opened, shoppers had already started queuing. And by the time the doors opened, the line of people had stretched all the way around the building.
I wasn't even coming to the store. I was just walking by, and then I saw everyone sort of gathering around the shop, and I wanted to go inside and have a look now.
We just saw a line and we just stood here, and we are just here trying to see what it is. I'm going to look at this place the first time, but seeing the amount of crowd, I do feel that it's a great shop and I might find good sales.
Well, I'm actually from New York City, and I'm visiting for like next 2 months. My aunt and uncle wanted me to check out the pots here for the 90% deal. And I also wanted to get some new clothes.
I was shocked actually. Well, it has been here for quite a while, right? And then every time I come down to OG, I will pop by to this place. Quite sad, you know, in a way, you know, that it's moving out, you know.
I was working in Somerset previously, and then this is one of our frequent place to come over, like Robinson previously, and then it closed down, and then we came to OG later on. But we shifted over, our office shifted over to another place, but this place really have very good memories.
Inside the store, discount signs can be seen everywhere. But if you're looking for bargains of 50% and up, those are mostly among the wearables: clothes, bags, and shoes. Busiest floors appear to be housewares on level 4 and women's on level 1, though there was not a single empty floor when we were there.
As for the OG staff members, those we spoke to said they have not been told when the sale will end, when the store will officially move out, and what will happen to them when it does. Kimberly Zhao for the Straits Times.
And here to tell us more is consumer correspondent Anjali Raguraman. So Anjali, is this the beginning of the end for OG? Do you see it going the same way as other department stores like Robinsons?
Well, Sven, we've seen several other department store franchises either scale down or exit altogether or even pivot. So the likes of John Little, for example, they left in 2016, and then shortly after that, Isetan shuttered. They went a bit more small scale. They shuttered their Westgate store in Jurong in 2020, and then earlier this year they closed their Parkway Parade outlet. and only has a handful of stores left. And then in terms of pivoting, we have Robinsons. They've gone fully online. They shut all their physical stores. It's hard to tell which way OG will go, but they did say that as part of their long-term strategy, they're looking to open more outlets closer to suburban customers. And moving to the heartlands, in a way, may be the way forward, but that remains to be seen. Because if anything, stats show that Singapore's retail sector is on the mend, in fact. Retail sales surged like 17.8% year on year, according to stats released earlier this month. And that's partly helped along because of the continued boost from tourist spending after travel restrictions were eased, and department stores in particular, which had been like really hard hit by pandemic restrictions, they saw sales jump by 73.1% instead. So it remains to be seen which way OG will go.
Interesting. So what does OG's impending departure mean for the Orchard Road shopping belt?
Well, we've seen plenty of shifts in terms of what has happened to established players along the belt. For example, Metro at Centre Point was taken over by Decathlon, and Robinsons became Courts at the Heron. So in line with rejuvenation plans for Orchard Road that were announced back in 2019, maybe Orchard Road department stores moving in and out maybe portend that it's going to be less known for shopping, but more as a holistic lifestyle destination. And earlier this year, it was announced, as part of a tourism injection of $500 million that Singapore's tourism sector is getting. There will be a new attraction at Somerset, for instance, where it's an action sports facility where visitors can skate, surf, ski and snowboard and stuff like that. So that's going to be located at the vacant site next to Somerset Skate Park. So we're going to see more stuff like that, I think, even in the case as department stores move out or other retail players come in. This lifestyle destination thing, I think, is going to be the way forward.
Many thanks to Anjali Raguraman, the Straits Times consumer correspondent. The lorry driver who aided in the escape of the man behind the luxury goods scam has been charged. This is on top of an earlier charge handed last Friday for helping the man's wife, Pansuk Siriwipa, leave Singapore the same way. Meanwhile, Ms. Pansuk was allegedly investigated by Thai police in 2019 for a similar ruse involving customers pre-ordering cosmetics and luxury goods through an Instagram business. Among the victims in Thailand that she cheated, one claimed to have lost 5 million baht, or about 190,000 Sing dollars, after ordering Hermes, Dior and Chanel bags that were never delivered. And amid Singapore's current COVID-19 wave, the Health Ministry says that over the past 2 weeks, emergency departments at the public hospitals handled an average of 2,500 adult patients per day, compared with the usual daily load of about 2,000. And during the same period, the children's emergency departments at KK Women's and Children's Hospital and National University Hospital each saw an average of about 680 patients daily, up from around 450 a day. MOH says about 40% of these cases did not require emergency care. Meanwhile, anyone younger than 80 years old will need to make an appointment before going to a polyclinic to get their COVID-19 vaccinations. This is to allow the 23 polyclinics to better handle patients with pressing healthcare needs. HDB resale prices are still rising in the second quarter at a quicker pace of 2.8%. This despite a decrease in the number of flats changing hands. Analysts are attributing this to construction delays for BTOs, consumer preference for larger HDB flats, as well as resale prices being at record highs. For instance, 83 units were sold for at least $1 million in Q2. Private home prices also on the up in Q2, led by non-landed properties and a sharp turnaround for apartments in the city fringe. The 3.5% rise is a big jump from the 0.7% gain in the first quarter. But analysts caution that the price momentum may not be sustainable due to the rapid rise in interest rates and rising mortgage payments. In other news, the International Monetary Fund is lowering its economic growth forecast for Singapore, placing it at 3.7% this year, less than its 4% growth forecast back in May. It had already warned that it will downgrade its estimates for the global economy. IMF, though, is keeping its forecast 4.8% for Singapore's headline inflation, which covers all goods and services. Sri Lanka's new government is taking shape as Dinesh Gunawardena is sworn in as the new Prime Minister. The former minister took the oath of office in the presence of his friend and new president, Ranil Wickremesinghe. The cabinet's remaining members are expected to be sworn in later today. The new administration is moving to crack down on protesters, with security forces raiding a protest camp on government grounds, just hours after the swearing-in ceremony. 5G coverage has been rolled out in 95% of outdoor locations in Singapore on Singtel's network, the nation's largest telco achieving this 3 years ahead of the target set by authorities. Its 5G network now covers more than 1,300 outdoor locations and provides signal in over 400 buildings and train tunnels. 5G is said to be 10 times faster than 4G and could open up a wide range of new opportunities.
Every businesses have been impacted with COVID in the last 2 years. Everyone is pursuing digitalization and transformation. We see 5G as an enabler of that. And companies who are ahead of the game are deploying 5G or using 5G as an enabler to help them transform. Being a small country, we can provide that global test bed for large multinationals to transform their business operation and use Singapore as an experimental base.
And those are our top stories today. Visit straitstimes.com for more news and our YouTube channel for more videos. Subscribe by hitting the red button below. I'm Chao Suen. Have a great weekend.